The defining moment for me was, I was out camping in Moab. I have the big tundra outside with the rooftop tent. And I was standing on my tailgate and I just zipped up my tent. And I went to jump off my tailgate and I hesitated. And I was like, again, natural Beau, 150 pounds soaking wet, agility athlete, baseball player, like even my gymnastics when I did CrossFit, that was my jam. And here I was hesitating, just trying to live my life. I was hesitant to jump off the bed of my truck. And that's when it hit me that my strength had gotten me to a point that it was now deterring me from the life I wanted to live, the level of capability and the experience that I want to have outside. So I grabbed onto my tailgate and like stepped my fat ass down, and I was like, never again. Guys, real quick, bring it in. B, Jacob, come on in. So same thing, jumping mechanics, landing mechanics, two different sets of footwork. When we jump, we need to be stacked vertically, toes forward. When we land, which is gonna be at the end of that last broad jump, we wanna be here using the brakes and hips, or using the hamstrings and glutes as your braking system. So I don't want you stomping in here, land and absorb. Cool? Let's try that again, run that back. Own your landing position. Hips and arms back. Better, better. Nice, B. As to not be a victim to my own training or desires, I know I had to sign up for something right away. I had a lot of friends who were running across the Grand Canyon in the back, rim to rim to rim. So that's something I'd always wanted to do. If I don't put something on the calendar that every morning I wake up, it's like, tap, tap, hey bitch, like you need to get up and do this because you made this commitment. And it's unsanitized. If you're in the Grand Canyon and something happens to you, there's two ways out of there, on a donkey or on a helicopter, or on your own 2 feet. And so I put that goal on the calendar, and in the process of doing that, I've been training people for years. I put people on Everest. I've had people do Leadville 100. I have experience in all of this, but I've never actually applied a lot of the endurance and aerobic capacity to myself, or I hadn't in a long time. From there forward, I decided that I wanted to train in a manner that would put me 8 weeks away from anything I want to do. And again, I think fitness should be tailored to the individual who's doing it. Maybe you don't want to go do these things outside, or maybe you really do just want to keep up with your kids. I think there needs to be a conversation of why do you work out? And I think when you get to the bottom of that, you start getting into some pretty deep stuff as far as like what drives people to train in the first place. And that's what kind of led me to go from being just a fitness coach of the X's and O's and programming to more of a performance coach, to digging into the emotional hooks of the story you tell yourself about your capability, who you are, and how a coach's job is to help redefine those and then guide and nurture that conversation until that individual's gone through incredible transformation. How's your back feel after those? Feels okay? Okay. But we still need to work a little more rotation where you're just throwing it out the back, and then that's what limits you in your depth. When you throw it out the back and you lose the hip.
So too far forward?
But no, it's just the angle of your hip. You're throwing it off before you squat. So it should be relatively neutral and then free down, because we have to give that femur room to go all the way into flexion.
I did try kneeling on my pelvis last week. Try to release all this tension because it all goes right through here.
Yes.
So I really, like my legs aren't the same height. And so I did 2 rounds of dry kneeling, and now it's physical therapy, a lot of ball movement.
The dry needling and stuff will help, but we need to be creating like active stretching in that as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're gonna
so that's where the static stuff is fine, but like couch stretch and stuff like that, you need to be opening, like where the back foot's against the wall, we need to get that pelvis into a neutral position with that quad fully extended. Or stretch, excuse me. Your ability to help somebody is directly correlated to your curiosity about that individual. Whether a program works or not isn't the argument, because any program, if it has any form of structure, will lead to an outcome. So people are getting results. It may just not be the results they want, right? But they are getting results. So if you can begin to help an individual maintain the other 22 to 23 hours a day with sleep, with nutrition, with stress management, and all this other stuff, you can now guide better results in the gym. They're gonna get more out of their workout. people wear their nervous system in the gym. They wear that argument with their loved one. They wear that shitty night of sleep. Instead of just somebody pointing at the board saying, this is what we're gonna do today, it's a matter of having a conversation. What should we do today, right? Based on how you're feeling. So I think building that relationship with people and asking more questions rather than just shouting and like if you have somebody that's just telling you what to do, that's just somebody bossing you around. You know what I mean? This needs to be a conversation. You need to be guiding this person and incentivizing what you want. Deficit means we can't start with those hips as high as we would in a conventional dead. We need to drop those hips down a little bit. So what we're working, number one, time under tension, but that push or squat off the floor to get it to the knee. So when we wind up, drop the hips just a little more. Knee angle increases. Two reps, as fast as possible, no touch and go. We're gonna go 5x2, 70-ish% on the 90. Tracking, let's get it. Bring the whole, ceasefire. Try it again. So, feet a little more neutral, a little more in. There you go. Long arms, compression. All right, adjust your bar. Now, wrap that thumb. Better, tight belly. Now push the floor away. Better, back down, breath set, drop your hips. Much better, good. Guys, one of the keys, and I want you to pay attention to this, the hip and the knee should lock out at the same time. If the hip locks out first, it means our butt got away from us, right? Because that means the knee's locked, and then we're finishing this way. So sequencing, as we push away, hips and knees should snap open at the same time. Also pay attention to that even in your warm-up reps. Hips got away from you. Push, push, keep that chest up. Better. And that was the, right out from underneath you. Drop those hips just a little bit for me, B. Drop them down. Better, good. So as far as when people walk into Arsenal, we try to get as much information on these people as we can. Like obviously we're gonna guide movement and provide really good strength and conditioning for them. But at the same time, we're gonna be innately curious about what results do they want? Like why did they show up? Who are they showing up for? What are they actually trying to change in their life? Like what's the outcome? So many times in the industry, we don't have conversations with people like, what do you want out of this? It's just, oh, come in and do the thing. And the thing is probably better than nothing. But that hamster wheel over time, we know what happens when we just run and run. You run yourself into the ground, especially if you're not getting what you want. You might be getting results, but you're not getting the results you want. So the more information you get on people, the more of a connection, the more intimate relationship you create, knowing other aspects of their life other than just the 60 minutes they spend in the gym allows you to solve other problems for them. And that's what, in my mind, a coach is supposed to do. Everybody's like, aren't you sad? Like they're gonna take the V23 logo off the wall. It was like, I don't care what this place is called. There's a standard here that we maintain. It doesn't matter what's on the windows, what's on the door, what the name on the rug is. And that standard is gonna stay the same. We're gonna provide really good strength and conditioning for all people. But the merger with Arsenal, if we can now begin to truly impact the other 22, 23 hours a day and help more people solve problems rather than referring them out to all of these other places who aren't giving these clients what they want. They're, in my experience with that, there hasn't been a lot of follow-up, a lot of guidance. They're like, here's your blood work, we'll see you in 6 months. And even a lot of doctors aren't equipped to really interpret those results. And then now how does that affect their training? How should their training change based on what's going on under the hood? And after working with so many athletes who think they know what's going on, and whether this is very high level athletes or people that need to lose 80 pounds, oftentimes what people think is going on based on how they feel, usually the blood work's gonna tell a different story. So instead of just having a printout saying, this is how hard you worked out today, we're like, no, here's what's going on under the hood. We all have the same hour a day. Why do some people get results and some don't? Fitness industry is what, 7-8 billion now? And America's what? Less healthy, higher diabetes rates, more obese? We're losing. we're fucking losing. Me, you, everybody else in this industry, we are not winning this fight right now. We're not winning the fight. Why? So we're just trying to prescribe the most fun workout, and we get headsets, and we get cucumber lavender water and black lights, and we get all of these distractions from the fact that we can't fucking get people results, dude. And you can't argue results. Our goal is to begin to cleave away all the manufactured hype, all of the bullshit, and start getting back to what's important. And that's creating more healthy people in more healthy communities. That's what we're doing.